Hello, everybody, and welcome back to DreamHack Winter 2015 here in Sweden, Jönköping. I'm your host, Nimsh. Frölund is on a break, and I'm here with Lothar and Raven. And guys, how are you doing? This tournament is so good so far.
I feel like this is the best event today that we had, especially because it has the vibe of the just reminiscence me of the tournaments we had in other card games, and this is something I was missing all the time. So I'm really happy to be here and to cast this tournament because it feels special.
Yeah, it's very special. Raven, how do you feel about this tournament yourself?
Yeah, I mean, echo what Lothar says. Really, the for me, it's my first DreamHack I'm casting, and first DreamHack ever actually for me going to. But the actual just having the event and everyone sat opposite each other on the tables, like you said about the sort of traditional card game style, is really good. And just the atmosphere, and even after the game, all the players stand go stand one to one side, have a little chat about how everyone's games went, and it's just a really good atmosphere. It's awesome.
Talking about the other card games that Lothar mentioned, we do have a player who is really famous in other card games.
Yeah, Elky is the professional pro player, professional player from poker, and he's now transitioning to Hearthstone. And he was also a professional StarCraft player, so he has quite the experience in competitive gaming, and hopefully he will do well in Hearthstone too. We can now see him when Amanda will move a little bit, but Elky will be playing against Hotform, who
Yeah,
just
Hotform.
returned from BlizzCon with his second place.
What do we
So-
know about Hotform, Raven?
Yeah, so he got his second place at BlizzCon as we saw. So pretty much like his best performance by far, and
Yeah,
and
definitely.
what we've heard about at least today is that he's bringing some very interesting decks. So I'm really glad we've actually got to cast the game just because I want to see what he's done. Because even in his BlizzCon decks, he played like Warrior with Nexus Champion Saradin, which is interesting. Not something you normally see too much. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what he's actually playing. So that'll be really good. And then on the flip side, obviously, to see Elky, as you said, to see how he's going to perform in his first. I mean, he was at Seat Story, right?
Yeah,
But
he was
see how he
Seat
performed
Story.
at like the first major Hearthstone event.
Right now they are 1-2, so actually they are kind of on the verge of elimination. Like, if one of them loses, he'll have a 1-free score, which means there is no chance for top 16. They can still obviously continue playing because this is a Swiss tournament. So as long as you just want to like hang out with people and have fun, you can just still stay and continue playing.
I feel like almost everyone here should play till the end of the tournament because it adds legitimacy to your just resume when you will be at 6-3 at a DreamHack event, or just not to drop out at 0-3 or 1-3 because it's just look bad. When someone will just look up at your Gosu Gamers ranking or just in your Wikipedia page, and you'll see that well, I didn't do that
Y-
well in a Swiss
You can
tournament.
still go to 7, Lothar.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
that 2-free score can still turn into the 7.
2-7 might be really bad, really bad. But at the same time, I feel like if you go to DreamHack to play, I feel like you should play the whole tournament. So I would love to see people doing that, even if they have like free losses at some point.
Would you play, Raven?
Yeah, I think a strong part of me definitely would. It depends how I actually felt, at the time. Because if you're really not happy about the situation, then I do understand that. But on the flip side, it's pretty much a practice session as well. Even though you can't go through, you're playing against some of the best players you're ever going to meet, because we've got some, like, pretty much the top players in the world, or a good chunk of them at least, at this event. And just to see what they've brought in the sort of new format, the new cards have come out very recently, to see what other players are doing with them, and just to get an extra idea and more practice more than anything.
We've already seen Brand today. We haven't seen that much of Reno. There was one Reno deck played by Vortex, but we didn't really catch up Reno being played.
Yeah, well, there was one Reno played by who was that?
Oh, maybe I wasn't casting the game.
Yeah, I think you actually missed that one. There was one additional Reno, but it wasn't played because I know Ignite was playing that Reno, and he was
Okay.
already killed before he could have played the Reno.
Oh.
So
The counter to Reno is killing someone before
Yeah.
turn 6.
yeah, it might be a good counter to a deck that is based on a heal to full health. So yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. So Elky versus Hotform is going to be our first match. We have a second match stage as well if the guys finish it faster. It will be 6-0 versus Frezar. So Frezar is back. He's still playing. He's still performing. And 6 on Frezar, I think they are 2-1. So losing here at this stage doesn't eliminate you from the tournament yet,
Mhm.
but you really don't want to have 2 losses. Because if you have 2 losses, you can't lose any more games if you're wishing for top 16.
Yeah, well, it makes it kind of more stressful for a player when he's on the brink of the elimination, and both 4 players that we are having here on the future table are in the same spot. So if they lose this game, it might be very hard to come back. And for one of the players will be actually impossible. But at the same time, the comfort zone that you can have after winning one of those matches is that you can still lose the one game. You don't have to worry yet about it. But at the same time, of course, you want to have the best tiebreakers. So you don't really want to lose any games at all, of course. And even if you want, if you would like to lose a game because you have to, an example, if you like it, you didn't bring like your best lineups or whatever, you would like to lose in the last round because that just pumps your tiebreakers up. So, and I will be jumping into the game right now between Hotform and Elky.
Hotform Elky. By the way, you mentioned tiebreakers, Lothar. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with the term. Raven, can you explain that one?
Yeah, so in like a simple fashion, I guess, a lot of the time Swiss works in the fact that the tie breaks are based off how the people you lost to or won against performed in the tournament as well. So if you lose to someone who's gone 0-5, your tie breaking score is significantly lower than if you lose to someone who's gone 6-0, for example. So that's on the base of it, how it'll actually work. And for a lot of these guys who are maybe going 7-2, it's actually going to be really important.
So actually, at some point, you might want to continue playing even if you're losing, because let's say one SK guy played against you, so you play versus your teammate, and then your teammate is actually doing good, and you know you're out of top 16, but you still continue playing to have their tiebreaker.
Yeah, because you can potentially push the other player down. So yeah. It definitely could work out.
All right. So game starts. Hotform versus Elky. EU versus NA. Can we finally say who's stronger?
Yeah, it looks like the NA has a really bad matchup here. Because that's the Zoo versus Druid, and we know that this is almost certainly a deck that has a huge favorable matchup against that particular matchup.
Yeah, and also the actual Zoo variant that Elky's running is there we go, the Seeker one. So there's probably Sea Giants and the Seeker in there. It's pretty funny actually because he actually mulliganed away the Seeker in the start, which looks really strange to mulligan away one drop, but obviously its impact is later in the game as it gets a buff based on how many, well, if it's the 6 minions on the board.
How good is Seeker?
Yeah, it's 4 minions on the board, right? No, 6 minions on the board.
Yeah, I think it's 6.
So, but Seeker needs to be 7th minion.
Yes, he needs to be the 7th minion, but at the same time, it's really easy to do when you're playing Zoo and you have Implosion. Yeah. So it's really easy to combo that, and especially with creatures like Hunted Creepers, like Gimp Goddesses, eggs. They always replenish like the board, so it's easy to block. I was actually thinking that the Religious Seeker is just a bad card, a really terrible card, and look at that, I was wrong.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, when you look at it in a vacuum on its own, it doesn't look too good, but when you combine it with things like Implosion, in Gang Boss, Creepers, and then you also add in Sea Giants as well, so your whole deck isn't about the Seeker and trying to get it buffed, because there's also 2 more cards in there that works off having a big board. So suddenly the dynamics of Zoo changes just a little bit to be able to get those big minions down. And also, because you've got so many, then like Big Game Hunter isn't too bad, because the Seeker's still a reasonable body that you can normally just drop in. And we've seen like turn 8s of like Dr. Boom filling out the board, and then Seeker, just because it's 1 mana, it's very easy to just drop in there.
It will be really interesting to see how good Seeker is, but there is also one more card for Hotform. It's Rand Blackhand.
Rand Blackhand, that's very interesting. So it's a dragon, just dragon druid. How that pairs up against Zoo. And it's kind of weird, right? We didn't see anything like that yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Dragon Druid, and right now his hand is not great. He only has 1 dragon, so this means that Twilight Drake, it will be a great card right now, but he can't play it because it will not have taunt, and you want to keep it for Corruptor as well. Can you play Corruptor?
I think coin Corruptor and then maybe...
Would you
want to go into Innovate Wrath? Yeah.
I was thinking about it because
you can Innovate Wrath to draw as well, which might draw into Seeker a little bit more.
But then if you want to Innovate Wrath to draw, why wouldn't you do that first?
Yeah, that's true. I guess because the reason for that is he's playing against Zoo, which is a few like relatively low health minions, so he's going to save Wrath to do the 3 damage to actually just clear off a minion or help towards that. And as you said, he can just use his hero power to clear instead.
So the only awkward thing about the Wrath is the fact that you probably won't play it next turn if you draw Dragon. Then you just like to drop the Twilight Guardian or maybe another dragon like in Azure Drake. No, wait, Azure Drag is unplayable in this situation. You just need something bigger.
Still no dragon for Hotform.
Hmm.
So what do you think? I mean, you can drop the aspirant and then just rat down the juggler just to try and
Yep.
put something on the board.
Seems
and
like the
contest.
correct.
If we look
correct
at
play
if we look
here.
at Elky's hand now, like these 2 cards in hand rely on a big board, and actually Hotform's been able to keep that in check quite well.
Absolutely, and that Seeker doesn't look great right now.
No, and it's not one of those cards where the battle cry is really good, but you can just drop it on its own. Like you're gonna drop a 1/1, like it's really not gonna do too much. But the Argus
true.
and then the Gormok.
Oh,
okay.
Cormac. So he's really trying to bait the deck around having a board.
And he's drawing the cards that are relying on that, so it's not the best moment to draw all those cards. So this turn has to be defensive Argus, just push for bigger minions and go face.
You might consider Seeker as well, because then you will have more minions. So
But you have only 4 mana.
oh, you're right, you're right.
Yeah, because of the lifetime.
I thought that he has hit 5.
So I think he pretty much has to Argus here, right? Or
Yep,
do,
I don't
do
see
you think
another
he wants to
thing.
play? It's a tough one. Like, is there a chance he wants to play Gormok instead to run the creeper? Okay, he's going to play Argus instead. That's fine, because it's come up to turn 7 for Druid as well, 7 mana for Druid, which is actually a really key point, because a lot of their big cards say, like, Ancient of Law is the 7 drops, Dr. Boom, for example. I mean, I don't know if he's playing those cards in this deck, but again, just playing against the Druid, you've still got to be wary of those.
This
I was
is
thinking
so
about
weird.
toning up the Hunted Creeper, like the basic form, because you would like to get those additional minions on your turn and not to
Yeah.
like you don't want to put them in danger.
And not potentially open them up to a
But
swipe.
then the silence is a bit better because you have a taunted Creeper, so you silence and it kills.
But you saw one keeper already,
Yeah, you did.
because this puts a really difficult puts Elky in a really difficult position because his hand is kind of dry. Like the Gormok will practically play just for his body, which is not ideal. It's not super bad because it's still a 4/4 minion.
And you've just seen swipe as well, so at least you.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
Oh,
my god.
or
This
he could draw
is a great
Dr.
card.
Boom.
Yeah,
or he
well,
could just
that's a
draw
good
Dr.
card.
Boom.
Yeah,
But it's going to die.
yeah, but then the
Still
minions
fine.
stay on board. So maybe if he gets Implosion, he might actually get Implosion into Gormok.
Yeah, he needs to
be
draw
sick.
into something because this deck normally plays like Echoing Ooze as well, and just stuff to just fill out the board. And as we said before, he's just got 3 cards, which don't benefit. Well, do benefit from a full board, but really not great at all from a
Hotform is so happy about the brand.
Exhibit entered the battlefield.
He's just smiling.
And Elky was really surprised, but now he's not. Now he knows what's going on. So
Elky can actually Gormok it, right? Because he can play Seeker, he can play an Egg, and then Gormok
yes,
the
he
brand.
can do that.
And I think that might actually be the play.
I think that's okay, because you set up for your Sea Giant next turn as well, and you've just seen swipe. And it's not, he had minions on the board a bit earlier than that, and he didn't see the swipe. So the odds on him having 2 are pretty low at this point. So I kind of like that play. You lose like the buff from the Seeker, but it benefit you gain is so much more. And you keep the Boombots on board as well.
Yep. I
So
think that's correct.
Seeker as just 1/1.
It's still okay. Still okay because it's just you can think about Seeker in this situation as a 4/4 battle cry minion.
I know
That
the
deals
flavor.
Just damage.
I know the flavor text of Seeker, but it's actually not really great.
Go on. I feel like you've got to tell us now to see
So-
how bad it is.
So like how do you say that? Reliquary?
Reliquary?
Reliquy?
That's how I would say it. But,
Okay,
I'm sure someone will prove me wrong.
Reliquy Seeker, right?
Yeah.
So basically, Reliquy Seekers is like an organization like Explorers League, and they feel like they're on the same kind of level like League of the Explorers, but League of the Explorers doesn't think that they are on the same level, and that's the flavor text.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not the best flavor
It's
text.
not the best
yeah.
flavor text, but we have a lot of great flavor text.
Double Blackwing Technicians though, from the Ancient of Law. They're going to be pretty okay since they can get the effect of having the Twilight Guardian in hand. So the 3/5 bodies are going to be pretty nice, but because there's not too much threat on the board. There is the 4/4, but that's pretty much it at the moment. But the problem is he kind of needs to just slow the Warlock down here.
If he gets a dragon, then maybe like Twilight and Corruptor. If
Yeah, that'd
Hotform
be
draws
pretty
a
good.
dragon, that should be fine. But like still,
But now this is scary.
he needs to play that Vegan Hunter.
Even so, with the game when they're down, there's still two 4/4s.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
It's very cool to save the Boombat because it is so valuable next in when Druid can play just a single minion on board.
he did draw the second dragon, so
Yeah, but now with the Sea Giant, probably you have to play the Big Hunter. And if you play Big Hunter, you'll have 6 mana left. So not much.
just gonna be Guardian Hero Power, I imagine. Maybe Hero Power down the. Depends how risky he wants to be with his life. He could kill the Boombot to make it a little bit harder to trade, and actually, you know, soak up some more damage there. But if the Boombot hits hard, then that's definitely a worry.
Well, you can also play the minions first and then kill the Boombot, so that Boombot can deal with the minions. Like, you want to soak the health.
The only problem with that is it makes the trade probably a lot easier with the Abusive Sergeant still on the board.
Well, the overall position is that Elky is in a good spot. No more taunts after that Twilight Struggle, and you can deal with those minions with the board. There's no swipe for Hotform.
And I think as well, because Elky, he's got no cards at the moment, but because he's a warlock, he can draw. And he's at a good amount of health as well. He's not actually even close to any potential lethal. Be interested to see if Hotform actually runs combo in this deck. I'm not sure if you actually have the space for it. Maybe one?
You might, yeah, maybe one, possibly.
Just because with like 2 technicians?
I would not hate just cutting the combo as well. I think maybe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think he would actually play it, so it means that Elky can even be a bit more sort of adventurous with his hero power.
How good is Defender Vargas here? It's decent, I think. Yeah, it's an alright kill. And you can push with damage as well. And you do have it on deck, even though it's a great silence target.
I feel like the bomb is immense value here if it trades up.
Oh, and only for 1 to face.
It doesn't, but you still don't really have to kill the 4/2.
Just the people for next turn, that's it, because how can Druid turn this around? Even with 10 mana and combo in hand. Let's see what, like, in theory, the combo, which is the best sweeper, right? Unless you can't swipe, you still can just only clear 3 minions with the combo and the 4/4 minion from the egg, and that's it. You still lose the board, and Wall of Lizard branches the board next turn, so it's kind of hard for the Druid to make a comeback here.
Yeah, I mean, you can hero power out of, say, immediate lethal, but it's just... What, I mean, I suppose he could Blackwing Corrupt to the 2/3, and then he's 3 damage off lethal.
He can also, like...
The problem is it's the combat mechanic, isn't it? It's like, how's he actually... Although he can survive, how's he actually going to finish the game?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
He could also possibly just Corruptor the egg and then kill one of the 4/4s with the Big Hunter.
I was thinking, why wouldn't he do that? Because it's... Well,
that's
never
it.
mind,
Or he could just power overwhelm.
Well played. Alright, so Elky takes game number 1.
That was a bad matchup to start to begin with for Hotform, so I'm not. I'm sure that he's not surprised that he's losing this game, and he's not upset about it at all, because usually you know that this game probably is just lost from the beginning unless you get lucky with the draws and you can pull off something amazing, and then you're like lifted up. Because you know that you just won a really unfavorable matchup, and you can pull off a 3-0 with maybe some deck. But now he just has to think about what will I counter the Zoo with.
I think he has a couple of tools. Like Hunter should be good versus Zoo, and then Paladin versus Zoo. Actually, that matchup is a bit questionable. What do you guys think? Paladin versus Zoo. Is it a good matchup or is it a bad matchup?
I have no idea what kind of Paladin that is. And I would assume that it might be something creative. So, if all
Dragon
decks
Paladin, 3 Dragon decks confirmed. Dragon Hunter, Dragon Paladin, Dragon Druid.
if 3 decks, all of those 3 decks are following... Okay,
Sorry,
I know this deck.
This
is Malagos Hunter.
Is this your Malagos Hunter deck?
No idea, maybe. We'll see. I mean, I love Malagos Hunter. This is my favorite deck of all time. Well, maybe not of all time, but it's something I really love to play.
How does it work?
Well, basically, you survive until turn 10 when you play a Malagos after Emperor turn and just, smash your opponent with
Arcane
really weird
shots,
spells.
like we can see.
Yeah, arcane shots for 14 damage, but the
Big power
funniest thing,
shots to clear.
the funniest things are explosive traps
Oh.
with Malagos for 7 damage to everything, you know.
Yeah, so something I was going to mention as well in terms of Hotform, what he's got left in terms of Hunter and Paladin, is that versus this type of Warlock, like both classes have access to good players below minions. Obviously there's Consecrate from Paladin, and even Muster can challenge the board, whereas, and the Hunter has potentially Explosive Trap, but also imagine a Juggler Unleash combo will just swing the game so hard, because the board should be full, or, you know, if the game goes in Elky's favor.
Yeah, especially in Elky's deck where he really wants to have a full board for
Yeah.
the Reliquary
Seeker.
Reliquary?
Relic Fairy.
Seeker. That's what I'm calling that card, Seeker.
Our Seeker. Our Seeker should be fine. That was a pretty good elephant, by the way, picking out the second timing.
Let's quickly analyze why would he play the elephant turn 1 instead of Mad Scientist to get the traps out first, and the reason why would he do that, I assume so, would be the fact that he's playing a small amount of minions, of high cost minions, so he wants to get those SAP to just know what his plan will be.
Yeah.
Because in an example, if one of the picks would be something for 7, 8, 9 mana, an example, like in Malagos, you can adjust the way you will play, knowing that you have already that in hand. Or let's say an example, there will be an Emperor, right? This which
Yeah, and on top of that, the problem is one more card draw dilutes your deck. So if you draw a big minion, then you're less likely to actually win that joust with the elephant. So that's yeah, that's really good play actually.
Also, maybe he likes Shaman and he's like, elephants guide me.
Okay.
They just keep coming. So turn 3. I mean,
Now we can't really predict what is the correct move from Hotform because we have no idea how many traps he's playing.
yeah.
And but usually the correct thing is to play 2 Mad Scientist. Ooh, Flare too. And second track and normal companion.
Well, Flare will not be useful, so it's probably okay that he is actually cycling it and throwing it outside the deck.
Okay, so that's explosive trap.
Tracking is pretty good in a way that it also thins your deck. So in theory, you will get faster to Malagas the spells.
Yeah.
The other problem with tracking is that might be the fact that you can actually burn your Malagos. Because you have to be defensive and you need something as an answer to the immediate answer to the board, and then you lose like the Malagos. Judging from what he's drawing and what he has in his deck, I would say that this is just a weird hunter for now, like a more mid-rangey control-ish hunter, but it probably doesn't run the Malagos at all. And this might not even be explosive trap. He might be just bluffing.
So what is this trap?
No, it looks like explosive now. Oh, is he just
Well, he's
imagine
just,
if it's not. Imagine if
That
it's
would be
not.
such a
Just
sick
like
bluff.
full commit to this pretend explosive.
Well, for Elky, it is an explosive trap for sure. Because everything that Hotform does seems like it is an explosive trap.
Well, he just waits for a single Defender Argus and proceeds from that point.
How long can you wait though? Like Hunter can always go with the Juggler Unleash. And that's turn 5. That's exactly Unleash Juggler turn.
Yeah, because there's a similar scenario in the Hunter Mirror, where if you're both playing aggressive hunters with explosive traps, you can, if you say got Juggler on board, kind of hold off a little bit. But that's because you both cancelling each other out with your hero power. But, you know, Hotform's potentially doing 4 damage a turn with his hero power combined with a life tap.
Guys, there's Seeker.
Do you think this was worth it, just to get 5/5?
Well, that's a lot of damage to the face.
He has Power Overwhelming next turn as well.
So that's 12 damage. You can do basically 12 damage next turn.
And no Unleash yet as well, which is pretty big. Like, Unleash Juggler this turn would be insane.
But the problem with the fact that he filled his board is that he can't play Defender Argus anymore.
And Hotform can just attack with the bow into the 5/5. And if that is explosive trap, well, he can quickshot as well. But overall, he's in okay spot here.
Yeah, this is really weird as well, because he has to attack.
I just need
Because
to
he
know
can't
what
play
the
any
trap
more
is.
minions, so how does he win the game?
Yeah, that was a weird move to just...
Yeah. It wasn't as
Fill
if
the
I just
board.
did a quick count then and thought, okay, if he Power Overwhelmings and maybe draws like another Power Overwhelming, is that lethal or something? Is that why you've hold off? And it actually isn't. So again, I think Elky might have actually waited too long on this one. Maybe he needed to just bite the bullet at the start, take the explosive trap and move on. Because also, he could have proc the explosive trap before Hotform equipped the bow. Because now it's even worse. Because if you proc the trap now, okay, there's 3 more damage from a second bow charge.
And that might not even be an explosive trap.
Yeah, that's... Oh, if that's not an explosive
That's
trap,
the
it'll be
best.
the best bluff
that
ever.
would be the biggest troll ever.
Yeah.
Hotform would laugh so hard. Alright, so Elky's gonna attack.
And that's actually a slight misplay. No, it doesn't really make a difference if you play 2 minions after that.
It was explosive trap, guys. Okay. I would have loved it if it was like snake trap or something. I wouldn't have even proc.
Actually, he missed 1 damage. Because if you would PO Knife Juggler, then you deal 3 damage from the minions, and you lose 2 damage, 1 damage from...
The 5-2 dice.
Yeah, but your Knife Juggler lives, so you deal 2 damage less from the attack, but then you have 3 damage from the juggles. So it's actually 1 damage more.
How do you have 3 damage from juggles?
Because you play
you play a second Knife Juggler, and then you have an Impotent Ghost, so you have 3 juggles.
Okay.
And let's see if that will make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, at this point, the game's actually going to turn around just a little bit. I think with the... unless Elky can draw some sort of like high damage now, it's going to be over with the Savannah down. But because Hotform held off playing minions because of that explosive trap, the fact that he actually just pushed through it and then he wasn't particularly in lethal position made it a little bit scary. But I suppose with 2 Savannah high mains down, you're going to 1 in hand and 1 on board, of course. You're pretty confident. And with that bow as well, the trap gave the bow 1 more charge, and that actually gives him lethal next turn.
I think the problem was that Elky played his Flame Imp so recklessly into the explosive trap. That was basically adding 5 damage.
And it didn't. It was to proc the Seeker, but it just didn't seem worth it enough because it's just even more damage. And if there's a class you're playing against that you can't really afford to just take additional damage from, it's definitely
that's the game. Yeah, he needed those 2 damage, so Misha was the worst. But Hotform is actually taking that game, and it was a good matchup to begin with. It was interesting, and as you guys said, like it was. A bit weird just playing it with explosive trap, but Elky was definitely looking for some more buffs. Like he wanted to have as many minions on board and maybe something to buff those minions.
I mean the Argus never came, did it? That was I think that was one of the major problems.
Even if the Argus would have come, then there was no space on the board to actually play it.
Yeah, after the Seeker turn.
After the Seeker,
wanted for the Seeker, and it's sometimes you can fall into the trap of the new card. You have a card in your deck that you really want to play that works in specific conditions, and you're so concerned about like using the card to the fullest that you might put yourself in a bad spot.
Lock and load. Sorry.
Nice.
But that's it.
So it's not. Is it still Malagos?
No, it's not. You usually don't play a Lock and Load and Malagos in the same deck.
And he's going to go up against Secret Paladin, a deck that's actually been doing pretty well this tournament from talking to some of the other players. I think Hoy's got some form of
He
Secret
started with
Paladin.
6-0 actually. Like
He's 9-0.
He's 9-0
yeah,
now?
and then until he's obviously played this set. Don't know what the score is, but 9-0. He's only played 1 deck. It's insane.
And Elky has a really good curve here.
Job's done. The Lock and Load's a bit unfortunate for Hotform because it's not a card you want to start with.
Yes.
Because you just don't have the mana to combo. And when you I suppose turn 3 Lock and Load tracking is okay-ish, but it's still not.
Is it?
It's just because it draws a lot of cards. It gains you a lot of cards. That's all and things you deck, but it's still not great. It's that's the best outcome of having Lock and Load in your hand this early.
Well, apparently he feels like his deck is okay. Even though he is 1-2 at the moment.
He's won a game with it.
Yeah, he won a game with it, and I think it looks good.
Oh, that was quite unfortunate with the Dr. Boom into Pulse Shadow Joust.
Yeah, so you'd imagine there's only Grim and Tyrion that are the top curve there.
Well,
one of the highest. Yeah, just because he jousted one of the highest minions in the deck. That's all versus all the rest that he's got. So.
And look at that, the Secret Keeper will actually get buffed from Hunter's traps, so it's not the ideal minion to play actually against. I mean, sorry, it's not the ideal spell.
Out, yeah.
And there is the Keeper as well.
Man.
Well, it's a great card. I think it should be played in every part.
I actually play this in my Secret Paladin.
Yeah.
It's really strong because you've always got minions on the board, and when you see procs of things like event, so we look at the board now. There's 3-2, 3-3, 3-1-1s. When you place the Alderman, then you've got another 3-4, probably another 3-3 onto the 1-1, or +2/+2 on the 1-1. Then there's so many targets that are threatening but not massive that it's really difficult to deal with them all.
Yeah, Keeper of You're the Man.
It's kind of like a mini Quartermaster, right?
Yeah.
When you think about it.
It's a mini Quartermaster.
It's just good because it's got the flexibleness of being able to just deal with any other minion your opponent
as
plays.
I mentioned, it's Overspark, like from the old times before the nerf, where you could just target something and it was changing into either a 5/5 or a 1/1. So with Seeker, it kind of like works in a way that you can change a Dr. Boom into a 3/3.
Yeah, but the problem was that Think Master was changing Ragnaros into a 5/5, so it's about the silence that was built in Think Master, and so it wasn't not about like the stats itself.
Stats as well, like you could deal with the creatures after that.
I think one of the benefits as well is if you're in like sort of a small board situation, your opponent plays a big minion on an empty board, and then you can pull with the keeper, and it actually like kills it, and then requires another answer as well because it has 1 more health.
Oh, look at that! First time look at load in competitive gaming.
Oh, bows.
That's actually pretty sick.
The one thing that I think Hotform forgot about last turn was the fact that the Secret Keeper will be buffed by his trap, and he did only trade 1 minion from the hounds, you know. So if there would be a single consecration, the Secret Keeper wouldn't have been killed.
Yeah,
that would have been horrible for him.
Equality is an interesting choice. Yeah, it's Paladin as well. That's not something you see too often in Secret Paladin, because normally it's just all much more aggressive style, and you know you normally runs like a silence to get through the taunt.
Yeah, people never play around it when you see secrets. When you see secrets, it's a clear sign there is no equality in his deck. I can absolutely ignore the fact that the card exists. And then surprise.
Like even now, he could play the Keeper of Alderman onto the Secret Keeper to stop it dying, and then it can still get buffs going forward.
Yep. Exactly.
And it only loses 1 attack. It's like lose 1 attack, gain 2 health, and survive the trap.
And you have this.
Or we could do it to the Shredder and make the Shredder even like more awkward to deal with. Like it's so flexible, that card. It's really awesome.
You're probably fine with Shredder dying here though. Oh, that 2/3 is not bad.
None may steal our secrets.
Actually, the fact that it does not silence the minion is pretty good as well.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah. Oh, quick shot's gonna lock it down though. But this is the thing, because the damage is, the sort of threats are not massive but spread across multiple minions, then like it's a bit awkward to like, well, if I've got to deal with sort of 3 mid sort of threat minions as opposed to just 1 big one. Like you look at the Mysterious Challenger on an empty board, it gets the buff, and then you can do things like execute BGH and things to just deal with that 1 minion. But when it's spread across so many, this is another card that's the interesting Secret Paladin with the Aldor Peacekeeper. That combined with this, the Keeper of Alderman, it's like, just locks down so many minions in the deck. Yeah, it's just a 1/5 then.
It seems like Paladin is getting kind of new build right now with all those cards. I like it. It's fun. Just reduce the minions to different states and move forward. So right now it seems like, does Hotform even have a way to deal with this? There is 4 damage with 2 Silver Champion and Elky's hand, and he has a pretty good board.
Yeah, I think a really good draw. I mean, but looking at the deck, I doubt he plays it, but like a Hound Master now would actually be pretty good. Gives the high main a lot of health, and he could have traded 1 more minion away.
I wonder if he's playing even the Hound Master.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
Yeah. There's not enough beasts, and the fact that he has lock and load and a lot of spells just loses the odds of any minions in the deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, lock and load can give you a Hound Master, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and then
turn 7. Look who shows up. 2nd time in a row for Elky.
Yeah, he's good at that. It seems.
Not that he really needs it, actually.
Oh,
that's okay. The 3 damage isn't super important at the moment.
but that's lethal.
Yeah, that's lethal.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see the true.
That's absolutely
that's okay because he still wins. Like,
Yeah. So Elky is 2-1 in lead against Hotform.
There was a chance that he would actually no win here if the 3/4 would kill the 3/3. That's why attacking with the 3/3 would be a bit better.
yeah, didn't play around that.
Yeah, didn't play around this direction, but like, who can blame him?
Hey, when lock and load's in the game, you've got to play around everything. Okay, you've got to do that arena style explosive shot positioning to avoid
Wait,
that as well.
wasn't that trap just in his deck? Because he used lock and load for 1 spell, right?
No, 2 spells.
No,
Oh,
two,
okay.
yeah,
He had Arcane Shot and what was the second secret?
Tracking?
might have been tracking. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he got it off lock and load. So it was either that or it was the draw he
I
played
think
lock
he
and
played
load on.
explosive, like lock and load into explosive into Arcane Shot, but it doesn't matter
Yeah.
though. Next game is starting right now. Hotform only with his Paladin, a really good deck, and Elky still Paladin Druid. This is last year standing, it's not Conquest. So if you win with deck, you continue winning with the deck. Just keep it.
I'm a little bit worried though, because Hotform's Paladin looks standard. So I'm a little bit disappointed.
I'm sure that will be something odd. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
that's okay. That's okay.
Chasm Mystic.
I mean, the value of the traps are unfortunately not that, you know, great when it comes to playing against Paladins, but at the same time, you can benefit the most if you're playing Paladin yourself.
Yeah, because they can then combo with the secrets you've maybe drawn as well.
Yeah, exactly.
These are really crazy hands from both players actually. Double Muster's pretty decent, and obviously you always want the mini bot, but then like on the Hotform side, 2 mini bots, Muster, Shredder, now True Silver, with the Chasm for backup if he wants to just snatch a secret.
Well, Elky has the Coghammer, which is a great tempo card.
Yeah, I mean now he can actually just, if he wanted to, he could have just killed the 2/2 that isn't shielded with the mini bot and then just Coghammered again.
That's probably fine as well.
Yeah, this is nice. Because he knows there's no coin for Consecrate as well.
So you have Masterful Battles.
I was thinking about keeping the 2/2 on board. I mean, just to trade it with a 1/1 and leave your opponent 2/2 on board too. But okay, this works either way.
Yeah, probably was fine.
And Elky just will replenish the board most likely. Clear the board with 2 recruits and let's Justice. Just to replay into the second Masterful Battle. It's crazy how much value that card just gives.
Yeah, that's a really good board for Paladin. Like for 3 mana, you get a free creature spread out, and you still have the weapon as well.
So
That's something we don't see every day.
it might be a Dragon Paladin, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm taking a long shot.
Yeah. It has a dragon in it. Does that make it a Dragon Paladin maybe? Yeah, interesting deck. So it's going to be like...
Hotform is such a baller. Like, he just came to Europe to one of the most important tournaments in the year, just after getting the finals of BlizzCon, and he is running a Lock and Low Hunter, a Dragon Druid, and a Dragon Paladin.
I'm not sure what he was thinking.
Yeah. This Consecrate's okay.
Yeah,
Depending on what comes out of the Shredder.
I guess this might be one of the best consecration you will get after seeing 2 Masterful Battles.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you should go for it. You still have board control with the River Crocodile jumping
pretty
out
good
of the
minion,
Pulse Shredders. By the way, how does the River Crocodile steer the Pulse Shredder? I mean, he has 6 paws, but...
That's good. He's got so many arms. Doesn't matter how many controls there are. He's gone for the heal bar instead. Okay.
Ooh,
Doctor.
Doctor 6 on turn 6.
Mysterious Challenger. Just in time.
This is really rough now because Mysterious Challenger on a board with other minions as well makes it so much better. Because you don't really want the Avenge on the 6/6. You want it on something else.
Yeah, that's true.
So which secret do you steal? Because you can... You either steal Competitive Spirit or something random. Because if you just make 1 attack, it pops Noble Sacrifice, Avenge, and Redemption, so only 1 remains.
You probably want to steal a random secret, maybe keep, maybe steal Avenge, just to have a chance of something better.
Yeah, you've got to just sort of reduce the chance of that combo working. Because as I said, with so many minions on board, the Avenge proccing on like one of the 1/1s or even the 1/2 is actually pretty good.
But now you can see how
So it wasn't Get Down.
how Chasm Mystic is just not an answer to the Mysterious
Yeah.
Challenger. It almost didn't Avenge, so it's not Avenge. Oh wait, it is actually Avenge because Redemption would have been triggered second, I guess.
Yeah. So it is Avenge. He actually got that Avenge, which is pretty good.
Yeah, now with the follow-up as well of having the Consecrate, it's going to be pretty strong next turn. Even though the minions have been buffed, 2 of them are still in Consecrate range, and then you know he's got a lot of board himself, and with Avenge, he should be able to deal with the 7/7 pretty well.
But on the other hand, there is a Coghammer, and he can just kill the 3/2 of the 2/2. He knows it's Avenge. Hope that Avenge lands on something like a 2/2.
And now it's got the Peacekeeper, right?
Yeah,
just Peacekeeper the Avenge target.
He can Peacekeeper, or he can just Coghammer and kill it with the 7/7 Divine Shield.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
He has options.
And then just follow up with Tyrion. That's
Next turn.
normally pretty reasonable.
Pretty best card in the game, almost. It feels like this is the best legendary drop in the game.
Tyrion?
At least for a long time.
It's definitely the best class legendary, right?
Oh yeah.
Are you biased because your name is Lothar and Lothar is a paladin, so you like stay with the paladins?
That's not the reason why I'm like it. So no, I don't know. But the divine shield is just so insane here. Unless there's a big hunter, but that's not the case.
Yeah, what do you even like here, actually? This is pretty rough. Guess Shredder popped the Divine Shield? Or the
Well, there's nothing else, right? You can't lay on hands. You know, you can't.
Consecrate does nothing.
Absolutely
I
nothing.
wonder.
So Shredder is the best card you can play. Yeah, just pop
The
Divine
problem
Shield.
as well is, like, so going forward, like, one turn in time to Hotform's next one, is that, yeah, he's got lay on hands, and it might help him stay alive another turn, but his whole turn will be lay on hands, which is why the card's really rough when you're behind. He sort of he heals for 8, but as we can see, that'll just get negated anyway. And the cards you draw, you can't play till the following turn, so it's really rough.
Alright, so Consecration is not lethal. It seems Tyrion is still the play. And
Yeah, I like just go Tyrion and go face.
yeah, just
It's so
Just
much
roll
damage. And you still have Consecrate, Kagami next turn as well, guaranteed. And then, you know, you might still have the Aldor if you can deal with the 7/7. So it's so much damage. And then he also has to deal with Tyrion. I think this is pretty much the game at this point.
yeah, it seems
Oh,
like
double lay on hands.
Double hands. That was really heavy.
What?
That's a really top heavy deck. But it seems like Hotform is actually running out of
Is there anything he can do? Well, Consecrate clears the two minions, right? You can oh, yeah, it's not
Yeah,
enough,
but it's still dead.
Yeah, he's still dead to Tyrion.
Yeah.
Even if he would
He
deal
can-
with
he can clear
Tyrion,
Tyrion,
the
but the
weapon, is
weapon,
just kills him instantly with one swing, and that's it.
So it seems like Hotform will not be able to make it to top 16, but he can still continue playing. This is Swiss, so you are never really eliminated.
He's
You
got to
can-
put more practice in with these crazy decks, right?
Absolutely.
zombie.
He brought those decks, he had fun playing with them, so why not just continue playing?
Yeah, and again, we see this power of Secret Paladin. I mean, it's probably one of the best decks, if not the best deck at the
You
moment.
think so?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
So what do you think is against? Not so much against Secret Paladin, but overall.
I personally agree with the Secret Paladin, like Paladin being the strongest class right now. Lothar, do you think something is better?
I think just mid-range druid might be just always better in any kind of metagame because it's always viable. It's not like the best deck in the metagame, but it's always viable, and can
Yeah.
win against anything, right? Because Wild Growth and Innovators are cheating on curve, and but I can see the point that Paladin might be better at the same time because it just packs so much.
I just think like a lot of
Answers,
the a lot of the
questions.
turns are so swingy. Like
Mhm.
again, we all know Mysterious Challenger, it's a super powerful card, and like all it takes is to get that card by turn 6, and that alone might win you the game. And it's not like you're relying on Legendary; you're playing 2 of it in your deck.
Yeah.
So that one card could swing the game so hard. And like if your opponent can't really answer it the following turn straight away, it's probably just game because then you've got more stuff to follow up with. So
Absolutely. You also have like a lot of other tempo cards, so you can like start a Zombie Chow, go into the Conk Hammer, and then Dr. Boom and Tyrion. And the other problem when you face Paladin is that most of the time you don't know which Paladin version you're facing. So there can be 4 Secrets, there can be 6 Secrets, there can be the Murloc Knight version, and now we have Keeper of Uldaman as well, which is a great card and is bringing a lot of value to the Paladin class.
yeah, and even within that, you get the decks that are like way more aggressive as well. Like because not all the Secret Paladin lists run Secret Keepers. Which is like naturally, and like Abusive Sergeants, naturally more aggressive. But there's some that actually run like, or have run in the past, like Belchers, things like that. So it's really difficult to actually judge how you're supposed to play when even as the game goes on, you're still not quite sure what they've got. Even some play Zombie Chows to be anti-aggro, and some don't.
Yeah,
It's really
Hotform
rough.
was running too.
Yeah, exactly. Just not good drawing them at the last turn of the game.
Yeah, that's what wasn't a good draw from the lay on hands. I mean, usually what you see from Paladins just brute force. The problem is the deck might be kind of inconsistent if you draw all the secrets and then you just draw the Messenger Challenger or not draw them at all, and that might be the problem. But still, he's packing like one of the best minions in the game, right? Minibot, best minion
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the game when it comes to turn 2.
It's something that I think Firebat said, where like Paladin can like chain drop almost the best minions on curve in the game. So that's what makes it so powerful.
5-drop is a mystery though.
Oh, look at that. We'll
Yeah.
be
Nice.
switching to the game between Xixo and Frezor, and it looks like they are 1-1 into the matches.
Yeah,
And
that's our
wearing an
second match.
interesting hat.
There is a chopper hat for Frezar. This is actually 6-0s. He's probably landing in Frezar.
Chopper,
Okay.
that's from One Punch?
One Punch Man? No, it's from One Piece.
Oh. Not that best when it comes to anime.
There was one and there was a P, so...
And it was a P, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so this looks like sort of traditional handlock, I guess. Just like the sort of current handlock list with the Void Callers and maybe a Doom Guardian from 6-0.
And the Paladin is usually struggling against headlocks because the only way you can win this this matchup is to be super aggressive from turn 1.
Yep.
You just go straight to the face with every single minion you can, and you're not sparing any single point of damage because
Yep.
if there
And
will be
hope you draw
Hellfire,
Owl.
yeah, if there will be a Hellfire, you lose. If there will be a Shadow Flame, you probably lose. If there are Molten Giants, you lose. So if you just go face, deal enough damage, and
They
you will
don't
just
draw
avoid
well,
and
yeah.
they don't draw those cards, you will eventually just go through and kill your opponent.
That was a pretty interesting knife.
It's a shame as well that we've not seen. It looks like Frezza lost with his Rogue, and that was a shame because we've not seen Rogue yet.
Raptor.
Is that what deck it is?
I don't know, man. I just
You
want
hope so.
I want
Well,
to see another Raptor.
We can assume that the... Oh wait, we can't assume what happened because if Frezzo was opening with the Rogue and a Hunter from 601... Wait, actually, it's 2-1 for Frezzo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we thought it's 1-1, but it's actually 2-1 for Frezzo, and Xix was left with his handlock deck. Interesting, but
Yep.
we unfortunately we don't know if the Rogue won any matches.
Yeah, this might actually be a bit of a rough position for 6-0 because he has good cards, but nothing that like works well enough. The Drake's kids, you just almost have to Argus here. I suppose the healbot's okay. It's just not having demons to pull is going to be rough for the Void Caller. Actually.
Healbot should be fine as well. Like he can follow up with Dr. Boom next turn. Yes, it's fine as like he's building a really good board. He hopes there's no consideration, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and worth mentioning is the fact that they are both 2-1 in the results, right? 2 wins, 1 loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this actually eases up some pressure for one player and puts a hell of a lot of pressure on the next round for the other.
Yeah. Whoever loses this can't lose.
Yeah.
If he
Because
wants to advance.
If he wants to advance to top 16, and everybody wants to advance to top 16.
Of course. Wow, Frezzo is really aggressive with his Light's Justice here.
He's going face.
I think what looks okay for the Paladin here is he has Dr. Boom next turn, but he also has answers in the form of the Iron Beak Owl for any like Sig Double Taunt and a BGH for any Moltons or any other giants that we're going to see. So he's got some good cards. Maybe it is just enough that the Booms might provide enough actual just muscle to power through. We do see the BGH on a 6-0 side, but even in playing the BGH, it reduces the mana he's got to play anything else that's actually going to heavily impact the game.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Paladin normally doesn't have the burst, so if Sixo is able to contain the situation, he might actually win this.
The Boom Bots are the burst.
Yeah.
8 damage
Well,
from Boom Bots confirmed.
They are, but you know. And there is a True Silver Champion as well, right?
Yeah.
But and I want to remind you guys that this is a big tournament. We are watching the DreamHack Winter 2015. And how many matches are right now? We have, I think, we started with 100 matches because we had 200 players. Now a couple of players dropped because they have bad scores. So I can guess we still have around like 70 matches happening at the same time.
Probably that's right. There will be a lot of games played over the weekend.
This is round 4, right?
This is round 4.
Yes, this is round
Yeah,
4.
so there'll be people who... There'll probably be a reasonable sum of people who have gone like...
0 free drop, basically.
Yeah, 0-3. And maybe even people who've dropped at 2, potentially.
Yeah, some people didn't show up as well, like Forsen, who overslept and never showed up. Forsen will probably be 3-0 right now, but
Yeah.
or 0
We'll
Forsen.
never know.
0 Forsen after this round.
So another heal bot is useful. Just trying to see if there's 8, 9, 10.
Well, we can just go for...
You can Dark Bomb
Dark
the
Bomb,
4-2,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Oh, he's just going to trade with the BGH.
So that leaves 6 damage from the Paladin. Of course, there's not a way. There's no way that the Paladin can burst additional damage of that kind.
Double Zombie Chow is like dead. Will he ever play it in this situation?
I can't see happening because it's not like he's behind and he needs the board to like challenge the, sort of any aggression at the moment. Maybe if 6-0 can come back and then he draws into Argus to at least just put up 2 sort of speed bumps, because health then becomes unimportant because you're trying to defend. But I can't see them, like you said, I can't see them realistically being played, especially because he has Belcher.
Oh my god, those perfect bomb bots.
Six is just shaking his head. Not like this.
And this puts a really tough situation for 6-0 out on the board. Shadow Flame doesn't work. Wait, 5.
He could. Okay. I was wondering whether Thoros and Shadow Flame is going to happen.
How much damage
hope
is there?
not.
Wait. 7? That's actually 7, 9, 10, 11 damage on the board. So he needs to use the Dark Bomb now
On Iron Beak?
on the Owl.
So it'll be 9, and then something like Jaraxxus can maybe help him to come back. Well, Dr. Boom is a great combat card, so it's not like he played it and he miscalculated because he can't play Shadow Flame now. But Dr. Boom gives him the best chance to actually come back.
Oh,
I'm not sure about that because he could have played Twilight Drake into Owl, into Shadow Flame on Owl.
Yeah, to clear off the smaller
Clear off
minions
the
and
smaller
leave the
minions,
Belcher
leave
silenced.
7 damage. Yeah, the Belcher would be silenced. You have 7 damage on the board only.
But then if
If this is a charge minion.
Reporting for duty.
that's not a charge, it's just Billy. But Fraser is playing minions, so that's why Shadow Flame will be useful this turn.
Well, I guess you need to stick to your plan and just go aggressively as much as you can. And I love this approach. This is how the paladin should have worked here.
Clearing bombs kind of makes sense if you expect it.
Yeah, I think because obviously we can see from 6-0, but 6-0's probably going to do the turn Lothar just said. This turn now, use the Owl and to silence and then prop. Yeah, you can use the Boombot as well to try and clear off the Murloc Knight, I guess. BGH
Well,
isn't that
wouldn't you
useful.
just go?
Well, he can still Shadow Flame one of the minions.
Oh, he's going to Shadow Flame. Okay, so he's playing really safe.
Have we seen Dr. Boom from... We've seen Dr. Boom, so what are the other big impacted targets?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I just wanted to say something, but I wasn't sure.
Oh,
Look at that! If you would have only attack instead.
Oh man,
weapon.
this can actually be over just now. If 6-0 doesn't pick up Spawn or heal, and he used double heal bot already.
I think this is the turn when you just drop the heal bot for nothing.
Yeah, you want like pressure.
Yeah, well, why not? Alex Straz is not going to come out, and then a random ending is there. Like, you may as well put the minion, put more pressure on the board.
He needs something like Jaraxxus.
Doomguard is not it.
Yeah, he just needs to tap here.
There's nothing he can tap into,
But
right?
do you even tap? Because then like you're dead to consecration. Even though
He's
you've
seen one.
Yeah,
I think you have to, because you're dead either way, right?
No, it's the Doomguards. What's happening with those? 3 damage to the face. I guess you can.
Can he afford to play? You kind of. Yeah, I suppose this is the way he wins. I was going to say, throwing away Owl when you've not seen Tyrion hurts, but he isn't going to win if he doesn't throw everything on the
5,
board.
that's 8, that's 13, that's 18 damage next turn, so he had some chances of winning maybe next turn, but that's it. Fraser draws the Crucible Champion and equips it and finishes the game against 6-0.
Yeah, and the state on that game as well. I mean, we saw Fraser use a heal bot on full health, and then he drew into Lay on hand. So there was like, must have been like earlier in the game at least, like so far ahead. Never under any pressure whatsoever.
6-0 takes the hat, and he is a bit distressed, but he's not out yet. Like he can, if he wins all the other games in the tournament, which is 5 more.
Yep.
He's at the moment he's 2-2, so he needs to win 5 more games.
Today, 3 rounds.
Today is 3 more rounds today, 2 more rounds tomorrow. If he wins that, he is actually going to advance. But it is a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure, especially on players like 6-0 who are easily, let's say,
Tilted.
Yes. They get really easily nervous on tournaments like that when there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot just, the stakes are high. But he needs to endure this situation and, well, for Fraser, good job for him. Like, gets a good comeback in the competitive gaming, a 3-1 in a big event. He needs to win, well, basically 5 wins will be comfortable top 16 seed. 7-2 is still not certain that you will get into the top 16 because there will be some players that will not get into the top 16 into the cut with the 7-2 outcome. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
We actually have Frezar here for the interview. So
Oh, cool.
come on, man. We do have a special headset. All right, so Frezar, welcome to the desk. Is it your comeback? Like, are you back for the competitive scene?
No, I mean,
It looks like it.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
thanks. I just played here at DreamHack because I live in Stockholm, so it's really close. And
Okay.
I mean, we'll see.
So you're not playing like a Hearthstone on the daily basis anymore?
No, I wouldn't say so.
If you won DreamHack, do you think you would? Would you like go back to playing hardcore?
Depends. It's hard to say.
Do you like the
Okay.
current meta game?
I actually don't really. I'm not really sure about the current metagame. Everybody seems to be
Honest
playing
answer.
everything.
You're just playing for fun as well, just hanging out with people and doing
Yeah.
what you do.
I mean, I love playing tournaments. It is really fun.
DreamHack was pretty important for you, like before DreamHack the first DreamHack summer. You went from Biok to top 8, was it?
Yeah.
So that was pretty impressive, and that would be really fun to actually see you in top 8 again, and maybe even taking the event.
DreamHack has been like a tradition for me. Always playing it.
Pretty good. And so, are you happy about your lineup? The decks you brought. We actually haven't seen the Rogue. Can you spoil it a bit, or do you want to keep it secret?
I can say it's Oil Rogue. It's
Okay.
it's pretty standard.
Did you win
Okay.
any games with it in this set? Because we
No.
didn't see that at all.
I opened Rogue and he opened Hunter, and it was
Oh,
like hybrid.
okay.
Yeah,
I died on like turn 6.
Yeah, we all know how that matchup goes, so
Yeah.
fair enough.
Especially when you're not playing any taunts, right?
Mm.
And Rogue doesn't pack any in
Yeah.
the old version, so it might be a problematic situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you even include any cards from the League of Explorers?
Not many.
Okay, but you play some.
I have a couple.
Okay,
I have one in
that's
my
nice.
Paladin deck, and I have
We've seen Keeper, right?
Oh yeah, we have seen Keeper of Ulduman, right? Yes.
and I have
Okay.
a couple in my Warlock too.
So
I didn't get to play it here, but yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so
What-
they are still secret.
What do you
Yeah,
think about
there's
the
the
new
secret.
expansion at all, like in overall?
Hmm?
What do you think about the new expansion overall?
It's really crazy. I mean, I love like Reno making new kind of archetype of decks and Death Rattle Rogue and everything. I don't know, but there's only been 2 sets yet, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we still need to wait for more weeks, and when we get stuff of origination and all the cool stuff. Are you guys hyped for the Golden Monkey?
Yeah,
all.
definitely. That's one of the cards I'm looking to stream. You know, it's
Yeah.
like the crazy card with crazy outcomes. So many YouTube videos will pop out on Reddit about that card. I'm sure of that.
It's gonna be amazing. I have one last question to Frezar. What's the best part of Hearthstone at DreamHack for you?
getting to meet all the players. I mean, you only get to meet all the awesome people here, like at events. So you gotta do that while you can. You know?
Sweet.
That's pretty awesome. All right, guys.
It's all about the community in general, right?
Yeah, and the Hearthstone community is great. You can just like walk here and hang out, talk to people, so it's amazing. All right, I think we're actually ready to go into the break. We're gonna find the pairings for the next round and come back shortly. So stay tuned for more Hearthstone action.